Rome is burning, not with the legendary flames of Nero's time, but with the slow, inexorable fire of decay that consumes even the mightiest of empires. The year is 476 AD, and the greatest civilization the world has ever known stands on the precipice of extinction. Let us journey back through the mists of time to witness the fall of an empire that once stretched from the sands of Egypt to the shores of Britain. This is not merely a tale of battles lost or territories abandoned. This is the story of how a colossus that stood astride the world for 1,000 years finally fell to its knees. Picture Rome at its height, gleaming marble temples reaching toward the heavens, aqueducts carrying life-giving water across impossible distances, and roads that connected distant lands like arteries in a mighty body. But beneath this magnificent surface, cracks have begun to appear. The first tremors of collapse come from within. The Praetorian Guard, once the elite protectors of emperors, now sells the throne to the highest bidder. In 193 AD, they auction the empire itself, and a wealthy senator named Didius Julianus purchases absolute power for 25,000 sesterces per soldier. The message is clear: everything in Rome has a price. The military, once the iron fist of Roman might, begins to crumble. Germanic warriors who once fought as auxiliaries now command entire legions. The Romans call them federati, allies, but they are wolves in sheep's clothing, learning Roman tactics while harboring their own ambitions. In the east, a new threat emerges. The Sassanid Persians wage endless wars against Rome's eastern frontiers, draining the empire's resources and manpower. Each victory feels hollow, each peace treaty temporary. The empire is fighting shadows on all sides, bleeding gold and men into the insatiable maw of constant warfare. Then comes the plague. The Antonine Plague sweeps through the empire like a scythe through wheat, claiming perhaps 5 million lives. Entire towns fall silent, fields lie fallow, trade routes become highways for disease. The population never fully recovers, and with each passing generation, there are fewer hands to hold the empire together. The economy begins to spiral. Emperors debase the currency, reducing the silver content in coins until they are little more than worthless metal. Inflation soars. A soldier's annual salary that once bought a small farm now barely purchases a month's worth of grain. People lose faith in Roman money, and the sophisticated trading network that once bound the empire together begins to unravel. Christianity rises, challenging the old gods and the divine authority of emperors. Constantine embraces the new faith, but this creates new divisions. Religious controversies tear at the fabric of society. The old certainties crumble like the plaster on neglected temple walls. The empire splits in two, east and west, a desperate attempt to manage its vast territories. Constantinople rises in the east, young and vital, while Rome begins its long descent into twilight. The Western Empire faces wave after wave of invasions: Goths, Vandals, Huns. Each blow weakens the structure further. Attila the Hun emerges from the steppes, leading an army that seems to embody Rome's nightmares. They raid, they pillage, they extract massive tributes. The empire bankrupts itself trying to buy peace, but peace cannot be purchased from the storm. In Britain, the legions withdraw to defend Italy. In Gaul, Roman authority recedes like the tide. In Africa, the Vandals seize the grain supply. The empire's grip loosens everywhere, yet somehow it endures, through sheer momentum and the memory of greatness. Then comes the boy emperor, Romulus Augustulus, barely a teenager when he ascends to the throne in 475 AD. His name is heavy with history: Romulus, the legendary founder of Rome, and Augustus, its first emperor. But he will be the last, a tragic bookend to 1,000 years of history. Odoacer, a Germanic warrior who commands what remains of Italy's army, decides the fiction of Roman rule has gone on long enough. He deposes young Romulus, but there is no blood, no dramatic last stand. The last Roman emperor is simply dismissed, sent to live in a villa with a pension. It is an anticlimactic end to humanity's greatest empire. The fall of Rome teaches us that even the mightiest civilizations can crumble, not in a single cataclysmic moment, but through 1,000 small cuts. Corruption, economic collapse, loss of values, external pressures, and the slow erosion of institutions that once seemed eternal. Yet Rome never truly died. Its legacy lives on in our laws, our languages, our architecture, and our dreams of glory. The fall of Rome is not just a cautionary tale, it is a mirror that reflects our own civilization's fears and aspirations. As the sun sets on the eternal city one final time, remember, empires fall not only through the force of arms, but through the quiet decay of the principles that once made them great. Rome's greatest monuments still stand today, silent sentinels reminding us that everything we build, no matter how mighty, must one day face its twilight. In the end, Rome's fall teaches us that civilization is not a destination, but a journey, not an inheritance to be spent, but a garden to be tended. The empire is gone, but the dream of Rome, of greatness, of civilization, of leaving a mark on history, that dream lives on in every person who gazes upon its ruins and wonders. How did something so mighty fall? And could it happen again?